welcome back to Sydney. We are back with another small business vlog behind the scenes of what I'm doing today, crafting, sewing, making on my Cricut machine, whatever I have in mind today. It is 10:36. I got a little late start to my day. I slept in a little this morning and then I laid in bed for a little bit, which is fine, but I am up now and dressed for the day. So I just want to get on here and start the video and talk about what we're doing today, what my plans are. So when I woke up this morning and was like still in bed and stuff, I decided to upload the rest of my products and everything to Depop right now because I'm still new and still like growing a following and getting people to my actual website. I do post my products on Etsy as well as Depop. I will have both of them linked below and probably in the description. I will have them linked below and also like over the screen right here. So I'd already started posting some of my stuff on Depop, but this morning I went ahead and took the time to post every single item that I have on Depop. So I did that. And what I have planned for the day, so I was thinking about like what I wanted to do, and I realized that I've still been focusing on like fall stuff, and I feel like I need to go ahead and move to Christmas. I feel like I have more than enough fall stuff. I just need to continue pushing that and making content for it and everything and getting people to shop the website or whichever source they choose to shop. But for me, I need to go ahead and start moving on to Christmas. I explained this in the last video, but I'll have a newborn for the holidays, so I feel like I need to go ahead and jump on it now. I was still trying to like plan out some fall stuff, but I think I have more than enough and I can move on and go ahead and start planning for Christmas so that I can start making stuff and then have like batches of stuff made and ready to go. So that's pretty much my plan for today and as well as moving forward. And then I was thinking about like what kind of stuff I want to make for the holidays and for my Christmas collection and everything like that. So I'm gonna go over like a few or some of the ideas that I have with y'all. I still plan to make Kindle sleeves and book sleeves. What I will say is that I was doing everything in like a holiday fabric, but I realized, especially for things like Kindle sleeves, book sleeves, laptop sleeves, those don't necessarily need to be in a holiday fabric because people could still buy them for the holidays, but want it in a fabric that they could use throughout the year. So, I of course will still have Kindle and book sleeves, maybe laptop sleeves. I haven't tried to make those yet. But I think for the most part they won't be in like specifically holiday fabric. I'll just do like regular fabric for those that can be used throughout the year. Maybe like a small collection of holiday fabric, but for the most part I just want to focus on making them for like year-round use. So I was thinking about that. And then for the holiday fabric, I do want to make card holders. I don't think I have the card holder out here that I made the other day, but I'll probably make card holders in the holiday fabric. I really want to try to make tote bags. Probably if I make tote bags though, it's going to be like a very small batch unless I'm just a pro at them and they're super easy to make. I haven't tried my hand at tote bags yet. I do have a few patterns that I've been looking at trying. There's one pattern I really want to try, but you need bias tape and I don't have bias tape and I haven't gotten any yet. But there's another pattern I believe that I have all the materials for that I might be able to try. And then like pot holders, oven mitts, a lot of kitchen accessories and stuff I want to try my hand at. Placemats I feel like is a good gift idea or like holiday idea. I saw someone making ornaments on like ornament bows on TikTok. It looked pretty easy. She wasn't using a pattern, she was just like cutting stuff. I'm not to the point of just like, well, with some stuff I can like just cut myself, but I don't know the dimensions of a Christmas bow. Like, I'm not to the point of just being able to like cut all the fabric out myself without a pattern or anything. So I have to see if I can find a pattern or like what dimension she cut everything out in for those, but they looked super easy and they were really pretty. So that looks like something that can be like easier to make. And then one of the things I really want to try my hand at is like patchwork crew necks. I see all the time people either like sew their patchwork or whatever they're doing and then sew it onto the crew neck, or I know people use their Cricut to like cut out letters and all that stuff and then sew those onto the crew neck. I really want to try that. So that's one thing that is definitely at the top of my list. And then like all the like kitchen accessories and like home accessories would probably also be like a priority. And then again, I would love to make tote bags, but obviously it'll depend on how well they come out, and depending on how long it takes me to make them, there might only be a small batch anyway. But I think on the list today, y'all, I actually want to try my hand at a tote bag. I feel like if I don't just push myself to try it, I'm just gonna keep holding it off and holding it off and holding it off. So I do have some leftover fall fabric since I'm done with making fall stuff. I'm gonna try my hand at the tote bag with some fall fabric. In my last video, I showed the fabric that I started getting for the Christmas season, so I don't want to touch that yet. I have also started looking like online for other Christmas fabric and stuff like that, so I might purchase some of that soon as well. But today is going to be about making this tote bag. y'all, I feel like I'm being pranked or something. I tried to make the tote bag and I was like, you know what? I don't need to print out a pattern. Like, I have tote bags. I'll just get one, trace the shape of that one, call it a day. So I cut out my pieces. I cut out the 2 squares and I was just using this print, but I cut out the 2 squares. I only have one now because I tried to make something else, but I cut out the 2 squares. And then I was gonna use this fabric for the straps, right? So I'm like measuring the straps and everything, and I'm like, okay, yeah, looks good. Everything's good. First of all, it takes me so long to cut stuff out. Like, if I could have someone cut everything out for me and then I just do the sewing, that would be probably the ideal situation. Or if you could, like, I don't know if fabric shops do this, but if I could like take patterns to a fabric shop and have them cut it out for me for like a price or whatever, I would do that as well. Because right now, my least favorite part of sewing is the cutting of fabric, and it's because I never get it straight. I never get it straight. It never comes out straight. So yeah, I don't know. Is that a service? I feel like someone should or someone has to offer that type of service where they just like cut out all your patterns for you. I don't know. If someone hasn't thought of that, someone should do that. If I was actually good at cutting out patterns, I would probably start that as a service, but I suck. Anyway, so I cut out the main body pieces and then I cut out the straps. And then after I finished cutting everything out is when I realized that I cut out the straps to be the size that they need to be for the finished product, but didn't cut them out to be the size that they needed to be for me to assemble the tote bag. This thin little strap, if I were to fold this how it needed to be folded for the tote bag, this thin little strap will look so out of place on this 17 by 17. I just did 17 by 17. On this 17 by 17 tote bag. And at first I was like, well, you know what? I might as well just like do the whole thing, but I didn't feel like it at that point. I didn't feel like it. So that was the tote bag. And then instead of just calling it a day right now with the sewing machine, I was like, okay, well, I already cut some fabric, so let me make a card holder. I've made one card holder before. Actually, let me go get it. So this is the first card holder I made. Yes, it's very Cricut, whatever. The point is, I actually made it, assembled it how it's supposed to. It's supposed to have 2 pockets. 1, 2. 2 pockets, a little fold over, and a little snap. This is how it's supposed to be. This came out like this time. No fold over, just like a clean cut, which is not bad. The only thing is I had to like sew. I'm also still learning like how to sew straight, especially I've gotten better at sewing straight if I'm just going like straight down, but when it comes to like something that I have to like sew around it, my seams they get a little wonky, so I'm still working on that. I don't know how we got here. Like, I don't know what I did. I used the same pattern. Well, I guess maybe I did cut off the top. I must have measured something wrong. Somewhere along the way, I measured something wrong because I did end up cutting like the top piece of one part off because it didn't match up with the other one, so I thought I would just cut it down, and I thought it would just be a shorter fold, but I didn't think it was going to remove the entire fold. but that's exactly what it did. It removed the entire fold. So I have my pockets. I have 2 pockets, but this one doesn't have a fold, which actually I'm not mad about, because, you know, maybe some people don't want a fold. Maybe some people just want this little thing. I don't know. But the reason why I prefer the fold, at least right now, is because with this one, I only had to like sew up this little part right here, like this tiny little part. You can like sew here, but again, my sewing is just not straight, and especially around these curves, so I just sewed up like this part here. I don't know how we got here. I will say the differences between these two is that with this one I use like a medium weight interfacing, and I use this linen lining. With this one I use the same cow print lining, and I used a lightweight interfacing, and that was so much easier to work with. I think this one was like just too thick, or if I make them this thick, I need to make them a little bigger, because it was so hard to turn this one right side out because it was so thick. Like this little tiny thing, so thick, I probably could have left a little bit of a larger opening as well, so I could have an easier time turning it right side out, but I don't know. So I don't know if to call this a fail. I guess in the sense that I was supposed to be making this, it is a fail, but I'm not mad at it. I'm not. Also, I was using a Cricut marker. This does not come off. It's not like a fabric marker. It's not heat. It's not gonna like go away with the heat, whatever. It was just the closest. I don't have any like fabric markers or anything, and that was just like the closest marker thing I had to me, and I know I'm just making these like for practice anyway, so it doesn't matter, but it does have a line on the back that's not gonna come off. So yeah, so far we are sewing projects 2, Sydney 0, because I've had 2 sewing fails. You know what? This might just be a sewing fail video, and that's okay. Sometimes you fail. That's what the point of this is for anyway, is because I'm learning, and this would be the time to learn so that I can know what to work on so that I can make my Christmas stuff. So because I still have this fabric, I will do this again, but right now I'm going to take a little break because these sewing projects are just whooping me today. And honestly truly, I thought like last night when I first woke up this morning, I thought I was gonna like take a break today, because I have been doing something like every single day for my business for like a month straight now. Yeah, I think like a month straight now I've been doing stuff every single day, which is obviously a good thing. And I've still done stuff today, like I added the products to Depop. Like there's still other back end stuff that I could do, but I've been like sewing and pressing shirts and like all that type of labor type of stuff every single day for like a month straight now. So today I was actually going to take a break, and then I'm like, you know what, let me just get up and do something. So this is really like a no pressure kind of thing anyway, thankfully, or else I would be freaking out. camera died, which was probably for the best because I was about to crash out so hard. I don't know how I even managed to do it, but instead of there being like 2 pockets in the front, there was 1 pocket in the front and 1 pocket in the back. I don't know how I did that, but I ended up flipping it inside out again anyway because it wasn't even. It was like off like this one. So instead of leaving it like I did this one, I went back and trimmed some of the inside so that it could be even. And we did it, y'all. We did it. We finally got a win. We finally got a win. There's still some things I need to work on. Like, for some reason, the sizing keeps coming out a little off, and I don't know how because I'm using the same pattern that I use for this one. And this one came out fine despite it being like crooked right here. And then I used the same material that I used for this one, and this is just so much better. Like I said, maybe I will make a few thick ones like this, but I would need to make them a little bigger. This just looks, in my opinion, this just looks so much better than this, but this is thicker because I use medium interfacing, and then I use like linen lining instead of using just like this, the cotton lining like I did for this one. And this one I use lightweight interfacing, so maybe I'll make a few of both. I don't know, but I'm super proud of this. Like, I am so proud of this. Like, I did it. And I put my own card in here just to see the actual shape and everything. And we did the snap. We have our snap. One thing I have to work on again is like my line to close this out. I feel like I need to look up like how to do, like, I don't know, invisible stitches or French seams, something to where you can't see my stitch on the outside of a finished product, because I feel like this messes up the whole thing. Like how this stitch look kind of messes up how well I did the whole thing. So I have to figure that out. But once again, my card is in there. Hopefully y'all can't see that. And then there's a pocket here. Snap it on up. And there you have it. A card holder. We did it. Anyway, y'all, I think I'm actually gonna end the video here. I think I need to end off with a good win. I immediately turned my sewing machine off. We are done. Well, I'm probably not done, but for this video, I'll be done. Honestly, because I did so well with this one, I might come back and make more of these just to like get more practice and keep working on it and stuff. But I think video-wise, we are done. So we did not make a tote bag today, but we did make card holders. Not this one, but we made these two. I still don't know how I ended up making this without the flap. I guess because I cut it too short, but we did make this one with the flap, and the tote bag turned into these. I turned the tote bag material into these. So I'm gonna end this video here. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.